Alright, I guess I'm making another review? Okay. I I don't I don't care. Alright. I saw Zoolander 2 tonight, I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the corny thing they used to do in like 2010 or 11 where they're like, I'm reviewing Zoolander 2. I'm reviewing Anchorman 2. Like, there's always like, why do they have to make so many goddamn sequels? You know there's a Now You See Me 2 coming out? Why? Why is there... I'll still see it, but that's besides the point. I was gonna see Deadpool tonight, like any other human being, but and I work in a movie theater too, so I get in for free. There's nothing to complain about. I was okay with seeing Zoolander 2. You'll find out why. But yeah, Deadpool sold out, and I wasn't allowed to get a pass for the next show. You got to show up on time. You know what I mean? So I saw Zoolander 2. I had to do it, and I was not in a good mood today. Let me just give you some backstory. Kanye, you saw my video yesterday. He was supposed to fucking release his album today, and he didn't. No CD. I go to Best Buy today. They're like, no, we release CDs on Friday. I have no idea why he tells everyone that. I'm like, but he says he's a god. I didn't tell the guy that, but anyway, I wasn't in a good mood about that, and wasn't in a good mood about not seeing Deadpool. Now, cool. And besides the point, it was either this or How to Be Single, and I was like, fuck it, Zoolander 2, because How to Be Single looks even worse than this. And I didn't think this movie looked very good. I love the first movie. I really do. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I really like this movie a lot. This movie was directed by Ben Stiller, stars Ben Stiller, Owen Wilson, Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig, Penelope Cruz, Kyle Mooney, and a plethora of stars that you know. And I really like this movie a lot. I wasn't expecting it. And I know from my past reviews, I'm usually the guy who likes like a lot of comedies that come out. Most of them. There's a couple I changed my mind about, not really. I don't know what to say about this movie. I'll say this. Anchorman 2 is not better than this. I think Anchorman 2 started out better than this movie, like significantly better. They started off similar, like because they kind of start off in a rough patch in the main characters' lives. You know what I mean? And those were similar. That was the end of the similarities really between those movies. Besides, this movie didn't really have inconsistencies with its laughter factor. I think laughter factor. It sounds like a horrible TV show that would get canceled in 3 days. What kind of a reality show is that? Laughter factor. I have no idea. But this movie was way more consistently funny than Anchorman 2, because Anchorman 2 would have stretches, in my opinion, to be really funny, and then there would be a big gap. Specifically, that gap in the middle where he's like, that whole Digby shit, wasn't into that at all. And that movie just got retarded at the end. I hated the son in that movie. And this movie that was another similarity, actually. The son in this movie was horrible. Whoever played the son in this movie was terrible. I just realized that was another similarity. Am I going to find out more? I don't know. Uh, hmm. This movie, like I said, I wasn't expecting it to be that funny, because comedy sequels aren't really known for being better than the first, and definitely not better than the first. But it was a lot better than I thought, and it was a lot more well written than I thought it was going to be. And I'll explain why. This movie not only paid homage to the first movie in really good ways and smart ways, it expanded on things from the first movie, like even like little things that you wouldn't even expect. I actually, fuck it, I'll do the spoiler review. Okay, there's this whole thing with Sting in the movie, which is insane. It's a whole, really insane shit, right? In the first movie, they like Owen Wilson's character like mentions him like for a second, and it was really funny. And in this movie, it ends up being his dad. It's fucking great. It's just why like funny as shit and really smart and like funny as fuck. Will Ferrell comes back. He is hysterical. I thought he was the best thing in the first movie, and I think he's the best thing in a majority of this movie. I think he's. This is the thing. That's another similarity I find between Anchorman 2 and this movie, is that Will Ferrell, no matter how long it takes for there to be a sequel, to a movie of his, he's always in character. He could just go right back into character like that, and it's great. It's fucking awesome. I can't believe how great that is. And I forget that reminds me how great Will Ferrell can be because he's been very inconsistent. I saw Daddy's Home, and I that's another movie I didn't like that movie nearly as much as I like this movie. That movie had a horrible middle section, but Will Ferrell was actually really funny in that movie at times in Daddy's Home. I'll admit it, and that's the funniest he's been in a very long time. I haven't been happy with him. But in this movie, fantastic. Really great. Back into character. He's not in it as much as he was in the first. But the thing I liked that they balanced out, for me, the two best comedic performances, they had like the same amount of screen time was Will Ferrell and Kyle Mooney from Saturday Night Live. Now, Kyle Mooney, when he first came on SNL, I wasn't a huge fan, and then as like every episode after that, I loved him, and he's great. And in this movie, I wasn't even expecting him to be great in this movie. To me, he was my favorite thing in the movie. I'm not even joking. I was in stitches. I've been acting like an old person this whole night. I used the word akin tonight, and I used the word guffawed. It's it's horrible. And now I'm saying stitches. Really? Okay. And yeah, Kyle Mooney was hysterical in this movie. Really funny, as per usual. But funnier than I thought he was gonna be. Like really, like I couldn't stop laughing at what he was saying. He was just like all over the place, and it's like his first like big movie role, and it's even for not being that huge of a role, it's big enough for a guy like for his fame level. I think not an insult. But he's fantastic in this because he's just all like really good comic energy from him. Really dug it. I thought Beck Bennett was going to show up in this movie. I really did. And I thought he was going. I thought he was in the cast, and I saw like a photo of him, and he just didn't show up. I guess it's a deleted scene. Whatever. Sad. But going on to other performances, Penelope Cruz didn't bother me in this movie at all, and really good TNA as well. So yeah. Really liked her in this movie a lot. Thought she had a good backstory. I thought appropriate. Not, it didn't like take away from the actual story. I thought the whole subplot with the son was retarded. Like at the end when they had the like add the whole Adam and Steve thing. But the thing I liked about it, and another reason why I like the writing in this movie, is that Will Ferrell at the end just like acknowledges that he made the whole shit up, like the whole Adam and Eve and Steve shit. It was really funny, and he's just like, "Yeah, that's ridiculous. I just wanted to do this." He didn't say that like verbatim, but like he said something like akin to that. I said akin again, motherfucker. I'm so old now. I'm old. Yeah, oldie. Future. I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm young. That was like a 4-year-old song. I'm old. Okay. Anyway, I really liked how they tied that in as well. That he just like. That's another thing. They made that character like expand. The Will Ferrell character, they really did. Like they made him like from the first movie, he was kind of he was a pussy, and in this movie, he was in jail for a while, and he really did like toughen up. And Will Ferrell like played to that, and the scene where he kills Kyle Mooney, their interaction was great, and like Will Ferrell's reaction to him, and then Kyle Mooney's they were great together on screen. Two best things in the movie, really. And Owen Wilson's great too, and Ben Stiller were solid as usual, but Owen Wilson back in character. But then fucking Will Ferrell kills Kyle Mooney, and I love the line when he's just like, "Yeah, I'm a psycho now. I'm psycho." It's like really good like self-aware humor. I like self-aware goofy humor that comes up like smart in a smart executed way. Uh, I dug this movie. I wasn't expecting to because it just started off a little goofy with like, yep. Like I like how at the end from the end of the movie they're just like, yeah, 2 days later the building collapsed. But I guess that whole shit with the like that Mugatu was behind it the whole time. I guessed that from the beginning. That was so predictable. And there was like a tiny lag in the middle when he just meets his son. That was kind of dumb. Uh, hmm, trying to think. What else? All right. I pretty much gave you my faults with it. The Kristen Wiig with the whole twist with her being Mila Jovovich from the first film. Yeah, I didn't see that coming, but that gave Kristen Wiig no excuse to play it as high up there as she did because she was horrible. Thought she was terrible in this movie, really bad. Oof, um, all right, I'm gonna give this movie a strong 8 out of 10. Now, I wanted to give you my thoughts on the funniest shit in this movie. All right, the scene on the roof. Oh, whoa. Oh, they're all like on like balconies and shit. Like Zoolander's on a roof. Owen Wilson's like just by himself. Then they see Katy Perry, right? And that was like a throwaway cameo. That was one of the weaker ones. It wasn't bad, but it was just like, come on, Katy Perry, you're kind of irrelevant right now. Justin Bieber getting shot in the beginning, by the way, was hysterical. Okay, his acting was terrible, but like him getting shot a million times for like a minute and a half, that made me laugh for yeah, that was great. Funniest scene though, when Neil deGrasse Tyson just comes on, and they're like, Neil, who do you think you are? And he's like, how can I think the phrase, who am I, when there's so much out there? And he said something akin to that. I said akin to that. Again, I said akin. Why? I have no idea. I'm old. And then he says, he says all that shit. And then Owen Wilson says, oh, wow, Neil, you're blowing my mind right now. And then Neil deGrasse Tyson goes, yeah, I know. That's what I do. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, bitch. I guffawed. All right, I'm Mr. Google. No, I'm not. I'm not Mr. Google. Why did I say that? I'm obviously Dustin.